before we start, I was asked, because I lost the camera footage, how I got the piston out. Well, like I said, I was drilling holes, starting with smaller drill bits, gradually moving my way up to a 12 mil drill bit. And then what I did, I got my bearing puller and put that in. And we tighten that up, and then just with the slide hammer, obviously there's no seals in this now, so it's not holding, but with the slide hammer I just slid and out it come, and that was how I eventually got, without using the compressed air. That's how I got the piston out the caliper. So let's crack on with today's jobs. Hello and welcome back to another instalment of Project Jimbo in the Al-fresco garage. So today we're going to have a look at some deliveries we've had over the weekend. It was my birthday last week, so I decided to buy myself some parts. We can carry on with getting this front end rebuilt now. We've stripped it all down. So we've got some new discs and nuts. They came already painted. There was from a job that somebody was doing and give up, so I bought the discs as they were. Here we've got the 2 nylon cups for the top arms. So we'll get them put in. Here we've got 4 grease nipples to do the ball joints. Some new CV boots for the outer CV joints. Come with the grease. This one, as you can see, we've got the 2 lock tabs for the steering arms. We'll get them put on. This box over here, we've got the 2 ball joint kits. So that's going to give me a bit of work to do over the weekend. We can get these fitted up. So let's get something set up. We'll start putting these bits back together. So while I was filming that last little section, I have another delivery, and we got 2 steering rack bolts. Give them a clean up, get them painted up. They'll be good as new. So first of all, we're going to start by, we'll get the top arms, the little nylon cups in the top arms. Try a little bit of copper grease on it to help it slip in. Right, so there we've got the 2 nylon cups fitted. Next we're going to move on to getting the drive flanges attached to the discs. So we'll take these nuts out. Take the dry flanges. We'll put a bit of copper grease around the thread. On the studs. We'll get them back in. If we've got a better hammer for that. As you can see, it's going in there. Right, so I went outside and got them tapped home. The camera was bouncing everywhere. But we've got typical Wigan weather here and it's pissing down. So we've got them tapped home. We'll now get them attached to the drums discs. So again, a little touch of copper grease on them. Here the changing note as the two surfaces it. Then I've got a 1932. So they just need torquing up now. And that's one disc done. Everything will get a wipe down again before it's ready to be fitted. There we have one. What I'll do, I'll get this second one done off camera because you'll get the idea of screwing bolts in. Then we'll come back and look at the next job. So here we have the two discs with drive flanges attached. I've just checked to make sure they're together all the way around, flush onto the disc, because if you've got any discrepancies on the flange and the disc, that'll make your wheel not run true. Well, that looks okay. So that's the one. That's the other one. Again, looks okay. So they're ready to be fitted to the hubs once I get the ball joints done. So let's get these put away, move on to the next job. So we've done one of the hubs with the new wheel bearings, ball joints. The wheel bearings I'm not too keen yet because I've not bought the replacements. I'm finding Timkins out of stock at a lot of places, so that'll be done at a later date. I've done this one off camera, then I can get my head around what I'm doing. Move freely, but with resistance. I'm trying to film and hold the camera at the same time, so I can't. That one probably need another shim in. But that one has enough resistance in it, I think. Obviously, when they're torqued down, it might pull away, so they might both need another shim. But that's for a little bit later when we get it torqued in. So I'm going to do the other one now. I'll try and do it on camera and show you how I went about it. So this is the kit I got from Wooden Picket. It comes, it's £18, 65 I think, or it's close to there. Obviously, like you've seen, you don't get the grease nipples in, which I've purchased separately. I got them, I think, from Old School Mini, £3-4. So you get all your pieces. There's one spring, that's for the bottom ball joint. The top ball joint doesn't have a spring, so I set them out in two separate areas. These are the shims I got. I got 6 shims with both sets, but I've also got some old shims here from when I removed the old ones, just in case we need any more. You've got your cups, will sit in for your ball joint, sit in, your returning ring, your grommet for the top, split washer and your nut. You have both of them for both sides. Like I say, the bottom ball joint as the spring. So that's the set I've got, and this is the other ball joint that's not been refurbished. So first of all, we'll start by removing the old grease nipple. That was only left in while I painted it. The same with the top rings, there was only left on to protect the threads while I was painting it. So get them two off. They are a larger screw than them ones, but they still work the same. So that's your old grease nipples, your new ones. So take the old returning nut off. go and get some gloves, then we'll get this started. So again, I've left the wheel bearing in because I've not got them yet, so they'll be done a later date. As you can see, the bottom end, let's get that focus. You've got the deeper hole to hold the spring and the cup. Top end, you've got the shallow hole. So we'll start off by putting the retaining rings on and the grease nipples. So that's the two retaining nuts and grease nipples fitted. Now I have seen these done, and what they do a dry fit and then they measure the gap with your feeler gauges. Then you measure your shims, getting it to the right distance, tighten it all up, and that roughly gives you correct first go. At the moment I've not got a micrometer and I've not got feeler gauges, so I'm going to go for the good old fashioned trial and error. So basically keep trying with your thinner shims first to get it shimmed up. Try and make sure your top shim you have on is a thicker shim, because when you tighten your retaining nut on, if it's a thin shim it can have a tendency to break and tear, whereas if you've got the thicker shim on, it holds down and it doesn't tear. So what we'll do, we'll get some shims put in, we'll go from there. Now on your shims, if you feel them, you can generally feel by touch which are the thicker ones and which are the thinner. So them two's thicker and that's thinner. And that's a thin one. And that's generally thicker, so we'll go for them three first. In goes the spring, on goes the cup, and then tighten down the retaining nut. Obviously they all need torquing down, and that might also bring you a bit of a gap, but for this purpose that feels just slightly on the loose side. I think a thinner shim on that, and it may have it. Sorry about that, I just noticed you couldn't actually see the ball joint moving. So we'll go back to that one. Stick it back on. I've not took none out because obviously I don't think you could see last time. So we'll tighten this back up, and as you can see holding its own with a little bit of pressure. And the only lateral movement really that the wheel will get, because that's in a solid position, you only really get forward and back movement. You don't really get much side to side. So you concentrate more on the forward and back motion. So I think I'm going to say I'm happy with that now. So we'll stick the rubber gaiter on, the washer, the nut. I'm going to call that side done. We'll move on to the other side. So again, as I say, as you can see, it's just the cup on this side. We'll go with the last 3 shims. There was 6 in the packet, but I have got the leftover shims, as I say, in case we need any more to space it out. So let's tighten that up. Now I feel, if you look there, there's just that bit of play there that we have. As you can see that. But across the top, it's solid. Again there, you've got the play there. You shouldn't really have that. It should be quite solid in every direction. So let's have a look. And that feels probably the thinnest out the lot. So give that one a whirl. So again, it's just trial and error, forward and backwards fitting, taking off, trying different size combinations till you eventually get the combination right. So again, we'll tighten this down. Obviously we're only hand tightening them at the moment. We will be talked before fitting, well, upon fitting to the car. See now that shim, that's give way too much give. So that one needs to come off again. We have to look for a different combination. Try this one. Again, we've got the looseness at the top. So take it off again. Try take the top one out there, try a thicker one of the old shims. Let's cut back in. Again, too tight. Try a different combination of two. Nope, still too loose. I think we'll look at just two shims, see if that no, see, just with two, it won't even move. So we definitely need that third shim in. It's just deciding which one will be the third to make it just right. I'll show you this one, looks a little bit thicker. Too thick. No, see, that one's too thin. There's a third. So that's too thin as a third. Try this one. Nope, too thick. too thick. Let's go back to the original third. No, it's too. Take the second out. That's quite a thick one, so I want to try and leave that one on the top if I can. And all's done. Let's have a look at this one. No. Let's take the two out. Way too thick, I think. I'm going to stop it here because obviously we're going on to 14 minutes now, but you get the general idea, and we'll come back when I've got this shimmed up. So after another good 20 minutes testing shims, I've got it somewhere where it needs to be. There's just enough play forward and backwards, left, right. So that's the two done. So we just need to replace the rubber grommet, split washer, top nut, that's that done. As I said, they'll all be greased up, torqued up when fitted to the car. Any little adjustments needed, I'll do that upon fitting it. So last job to do on these hubs is put the steering arms back on. So we've got the new locking tabs here. the steering arm on. Locking tab on the top. Bit of copper grease on the threads. The right way so the tabs are up, not back. So a bit of copper grease on these two. There we have it. Two hubs, new ball joints, locking tabs. So I think that's all for today. Got through all the parts we've got them ready to go on the car. The bearings need doing when I can get all the bearings, but we're getting close to getting the front subframe reassembled. Again, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hate and roast. Input is input. We'll get this done.